This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
Welcome back. Since tomatoes are America's favorite garden vegetable, even though they are technically a fruit, it's no surprise that there are hundreds of varieties to choose from. So to learn more about the different types and how to plant them and take care of them, we have Jennifer Shooter from the Adair County Extension Center in Kirksville this morning to break it all down for us. So how are you doing?
Doing fine.
So you brought in literally a box full of different types of tomatoes, which I had no idea. I literally thought that there was 3 different kinds of tomatoes, which included, you say this is the commercial type of tomato to a cherry tomato. I think those are the only 2 I know. So
okay. There are actually thousands of tomato varieties around the world, and we actually grow quite a few right here in northeast Missouri. And I will say that we have some gardeners that grow a lot of heirlooms, and what I have here today are heirloom tomatoes. And I got these from a gardening friend, Terry Cranda, who I know is watching this morning. Hi, Terry. And she grows a lot of heirlooms on her farm here in Adair County. But what I want to do is go through the different varieties of tomatoes that can be grown. And I want to start first with this big red tomato right here. That is a commercial variety. That's called Mountain Spring. And if you look at that tomato, it's pretty much blemish-free. It's perfect. And it is grown actually around the United States and around the world. They grow commercial varieties, because that's what the consumer wants. They want a tomato that is nearly perfect, blemish-free, looks beautiful, but often these tomatoes don't have any taste. I grew this one in my raised bed at my house, and I use absolutely no chemicals at all, so I was able to grow this blemish-free with no chemicals. And it doesn't really have any flavor, though, so I will say the commercial varieties don't have a lot of flavor, but you cannot ship a ripe heirloom tomato across the country. It will bruise. It will leak juice. It can ruin an entire box. So they have to raise commercial varieties for market purposes. Okay, so that's why we have those varieties in the stores, is because you have to have a good shipping tomato. Okay, and then we have what we call the garden standards. They are hybrid tomatoes, and back to the commercials, those are hybrid tomatoes. Okay. And then we have what we call the just garden standards, which are hybrids, and that would be your Better Boy, Early Girl, Celebrity. Those have been around for years. And then moving on to the Roma tomatoes. Actually, tomatoes are slow to ripen this year. You know, a lot of people like this cold weather, but the tomatoes need warmer weather. The cold nights and the cooler days just have not been where the tomato, you know, they like warmer weather, so we do need warmer weather to ripen them.
And does that go for all the different types of tomatoes?
Pretty much all tomatoes do need warmer days and warmer nights, and what we have had. Okay, we really need some steady temperatures around 85 degrees for tomatoes, and nighttime temperatures 68 to about 75 for tomatoes. But here we have some Roma tomatoes, and these make good tomatoes to make pasta sauce or pizza sauce, or to can. They're a meatier, thicker tomato. And then we have cherry tomatoes, and cherry tomatoes, the ones I have here, I have some Sun Gold cherry tomatoes. They have wonderful flavor. Those are a hybrid tomato. But these here are a black cherry, and these are an heirloom tomato. These have been around for years. And maybe I should explain what an heirloom is. An heirloom is a tomato that has been around for more than 50 years. It's just simply a variety that's been around for more than 50 years. And these cherry tomatoes have been grown for years. They have wonderful flavor, but they are an heirloom. And these Sun Golds, they're a newer variety, and they have good flavor too, though. And then here's what we call a yellow pear tomato. And this is what
like
a lot
of
it does. And this is a tomato that people use to make preserves, like tomato preserves. You may have heard people making preserves. I don't make preserves with tomatoes, but some people do. And the yellow tomatoes are a less acid tomato. So red tomatoes have more acid than the yellow ones. So if you have stomach issues, the yellow tomatoes, whether it's a big slicer or a small cherry, they would be better for you to eat than the red ones. The red ones contain more acid. And then I have these little tiny tomatoes here.
That's the actual size? They're done growing, or do they get a little bigger?
These are finished growing, and these ones right here are also finished growing. And these little tiny ones are called a currant tomato. There is actually a fruit called a currant, and that fruit is about this size. And these tomatoes are finished growing, and they are called a currant tomato. And Terry's growing those on her farm, and she gave me these ones also. Wow. So again, we have the commercials, the garden standards, the Romas, the cherry tomatoes, yellow pears, currants. And what I haven't mentioned yet is the grape tomato. And I don't have a grape tomato with me this morning, but the grape tomato is in the shape of a grape.
Okay.
Looks just like a grape.
Now, what are some other vegetables that are good to grow this time of year? You brought some other ones, right?
Well, what I have in here are all heirlooms.
Okay.
But other things to grow this time of year. Well, you really would start back in May, but cucumbers are really coming on. Squash, there's all kinds of squash. Eggplant, which I'm picking eggplant now, but we can show a few things in here. These are called dragon tongue beans, and this is an heirloom.
This is really pretty.
And this is a Chinese red bean. Look how long this one is.
Oh, it looks like a snake.
And it does look like a snake. These can be boiled, steamed, cut up into stir fry, and they have good flavor. They're an heirloom bean. And here we have a cucumber. This is she's labeled all these. I don't know if I can pronounce this, Suyo Long, but it is a type of cucumber.
Interesting.
And you can eat that raw or put it in a salad.
Okay.
Okay. And then here we also have some heirloom cucumbers.
Okay. What is this? I saw a picture on your Facebook page. What is this?
This is a lemon cucumber. We are growing these at the Extension office, and these have been around for years also. And I actually like the smaller ones better. They have less seeds in them, but they taste just like a cucumber. Actually, all these cucumbers taste like cucumbers. People ask me, well, because it's yellow, does it taste different? They pretty much all taste like a cucumber. And the tomatoes, the tomatoes too, they taste like a tomato, although, like I said, the yellows have less acid. But here's some cute little yellow or sweet stuffing tomato pepper. Actually, that's a pepper.
Okay.
We have some huckleberries. We're growing huckleberries at the Extension office, and Terry grows huckleberries. And we use them to make pie and jam, huckleberry jam.
Sounds
and
good.
I should have brought you some because even my little boy, he's only 7, likes huckleberry jam on his peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yes.
So, you are growing these at the Extension office, and with that, you also have different types of programs throughout the year. And one of those programs that's coming up, the deadline to participate and register, is the Master Gardeners program. So, kind of just give us a little tidbit of what that's all about.
Okay. The Master Gardener program is a program for adults, actually 16 years and up is the age, and open to men and women, and it's for anybody that has an interest in gardening.
Okay.
And you can be a beginner. That's often a question. I don't have a lot of gardening experience. Can I do it? Yes, you can. And it is a 12-week course. It runs from August 21st through November 6th on Thursdays. It's a 3-hour class. We're going to be doing it from 1 to 4 at the Adair County Extension Center. The first 2 hours will be classroom instruction. The last hour will be a garden tour or a tour of a vineyard or orchard or something to see here in town. And the cost is $150.
Okay.
The deadline is this Friday by noon. We have to order materials, so we do need registrations in by noon on Friday.
Okay.
And for more information, they can give the Adair County Extension Office a call.
All right.
At
And
660-665-9866.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's
What I'll do is
okay.
make it easier for everybody as well as I'll post everything on our website at heartlandconnection.com, and I'll link up the Adair County Extension's office information. Again, thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming on. I did not realize the variety when it comes to tomatoes, and I think I'm going to open up my options now. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back.